When I was but a young boy, my dad had one of these dot matrix printers, and it's not the printer I was interested in. In fact, I didn't really know anything about the printer at all, but it was the paper that intrigued me. It came in one of these huge stacks of fan-folded paper, endless paper, that was pulled through the printer by these cogwheels that latched into these holes in the side of the paper. And on each fold of the paper it was perforated, and then along the edges of the paper it was also perforated, so that when you were done printing, you would pull off the edges of the paper, and you would have these long strings of like little strips of paper filled with holes. And my sister and I, we collected these long strings of paper off the edges. And we collected them, and we held on to them. We hoarded them for a while. And every once in a while, I don't know how long it would be between times that we did this, but we would have bucketfuls of these papers. And every once in a while, we did something. I think we would call it rain. I don't know why I know why we called it rain, but it's because it looked like rain. But our parents would help us, and we'd either do this in my room or my sister's room. But the longer these strips were, the better. Like, I was very happy when my dad printed off something very long, and we got very long strings, and we would sit there and carefully tear off the strips from the sides. And anyways, we would take these long strips, since we had a bunch of them, and we get our little rolls of Scotch tape, and I guess we'd stand on the bed when we could, or our parents would help us, and we'd tape all these strips of paper by one end to the bedroom ceiling. And it would take a while, but eventually our whole bedroom would be full of these tiny strips of paper hanging from the ceiling, and we called it rain. And it kind of looked like rain if you used your imagination, falling from the ceiling. And then the real fun began. We would start on the bed, and over again we would just jump off the bed into the rain and just grab handfuls of the paper and pull it down with us. And it was one of the funnest things we ever did. And I don't know, we probably did that like every 6 months or so. And it seemed like every 6 months or so to me. I'm not sure how often it really was, but I think we probably took turns doing it in my room, and then we'd do it in my sister's room. Kind of miss those dot matrix printer papers with the perforated edges. Also, in that same room there where the paper was printed was something else I found pretty fascinating. My dad had this ham radio set up, which seemed, I don't know if it was actually impressive or not, but at the time it was glorious to me. All these knobs and blinking lights and dials and all this like stacks of equipment. And I knew with this little mic, this thing he would hold in his hand, that he could talk to people very far away. And I had watched him put this 40-foot antenna up on top of the house, and there were all these crazy, like it was a crazy looking antenna, like with weird things poking off at weird directions and guy wires, like poking down into the ground. And it inspired a lot of crazy thoughts into my young brain, and I think I just like looking at it sometimes. I think I was probably instructed pretty strictly never to actually touch anything associated with that ham radio, but I probably pretended to touch it a lot, or sat there in front of it with my hand clasped in front of my mouth, talking away like I was talking to someone. Anyways, hope you enjoy this drawing. Just a bunch of squiggly wigglies. I think I used a 0.3 for this drawing. I'm not sure. But yeah. Thanks for watching, and you're all awesome. Also, grab a copy of my line almanac if you haven't already. It's just got like a bunch of my drawings and whatnot in there. If you need something to flip through every now and then, I'd appreciate it. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye.